is my bell housing. I am cleaning it up. I have cleaned inside here a bunch of times. I just cleaned the threads to my T850 stud kit on the end cap, also on the shifter selector. Right now I could honestly go ahead and put it on to the engine and I'd be totally good. So these are the parts I've already cleaned up. This is my LSD intermediate shaft, like housing for the speed sensor. And here's the reverse gear underneath. I'm having that covered because I already cleaned it. I have the fork, boot, and clip. That'll go in here in a minute. And we also have a shifter fork. We have the reverse gear shaft with the roller bearing back there. The other two forks right here with this rod, and I just cleaned that up also. Then we got the end cap right here. One stud stayed in there, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it, but it is all cleaned up, shiny. Now it's gonna be a lot easier without the end cap and the internals, input shaft, output shaft, and the shifter selector. You don't need the internals to put the bell housing back into the bay on the engine. So I can go ahead and put my throttle bearing, the AGP, and the Wicked Performance fork on the SRT4 gear pivot ball. I'm gonna go ahead and slap that onto the side of the block and charge my A6300 before it dies, because it's already showing that little thing right there at the top of the screen. Rob, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to put my bell housing in today before I get my internals from full throttle. Grab 2 zip ties. We have our pivot ball already in. This is basically how it's gonna sit. I do want to show you a little technique on how I install my fork and get it secure. That way it doesn't fall out with my throttle bearing installed. So we have our throttle bearing. And then we have it on there. You can see it ain't going nowhere. Well, it shouldn't. I'm gonna go ahead and slide it on there. All right, guys, hold on. I have to stop there real quick because I totally forgot to tell you guys. You have to lube this shaft. Do not forget to lube it. Do not overdo it, but lube it up. Push. There we go. Ugh. Clean that a little bit up. And that's why they have that little hole, so just make sure you clean that out before you install your new grommet with clip. That way you can squirt out. But that is nicely lubed up. This is what the fork and the bearing should look like. And, well, both bearings I should say, because you got the input shaft bearing, you got the throttle bearing, and you got the Wicked fork, the pivot ball, clip, boot, grommet, whatever. And then you got over here, that's where this comes in. I like to do, so I usually shove it in here, in the back. Try to do this with one hand. So it comes out here. Take this, shove it in there. I'm gonna take this piece and this piece and zip tie it. Right here. And that is how I hold my fork in there. See? It ain't going anywhere. So hopefully this trick helps you guys too. Really easy. It can be super tight. As long as it doesn't pop off this. You can see it doesn't go anywhere. Transmission bell housing is back in, mounted to the side of the block. I have the starter already in. The transmission is still open. I haven't put the end cap on or the end plate because, you know, obviously Ricardo is going to be sending me the internals in the next few days. I can put my driver's side axle in now. And inside here, right there is the 5 bolts that hold on the intermediate shaft bracket that bolts up to the side of the LSD on the passenger side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some anaerobic sealer right around this edge. Do not forget this. This goes right here in between So if you are missing this, you might end up having a leak, but I'm not 100% sure if that's just a spacer or if it's some sort of seal. Now I have all 5 back in there, and that is all cleaned up, ready for that bracket to be installed. Alright, so it's time to install this, you guys. This is my passenger side intermediate shaft axle seal. Now they are the same exact one, so driver side and passenger side are the same number, which is 5069052AA. So I paid $40 for this, you guys. This is outrageous here in Seattle area, Washington. And you can see right there, that is the bracket now bolted up, and I have the seal taken out, which is right there. I actually used a 13mm and a rubber hammer to pull that bad Larry out. So basically what I did is I put my 13mm in there behind the seal, and I hit the opposite end with the rubber hammer to pop it out. And then once it popped a little bit and showed the spring, I took a flathead and went in between the seal and the housing and just popped it with the rubber hammer at the other end, at this end. And I basically wedged it out all around. Once it popped out, I could actually take the flathead and pop it. And it came out as 2 different pieces, but it is what it is. It still came out. Cleaned it up with alcohol, and now I'm just letting it dry. Got a new one right here. So I want to center that right in the middle. Alright, you want it to look like that. I want to show you guys what I do. Try to hit it in there nice and evenly. I'll tell you, it's not easy doing it while holding the camera. Keep hitting it around the edge until it's nice and flush. Don't hit too hard. And there we go. I'm just checking to see if it's flush, and it is. So we can now go ahead and slide in the intermediate shaft. Before I install this, I want to actually take a look at it and show you guys that there's a C-clip at the end of the splines. I'm going to be cleaning those splines up and that C-clip with some parts cleaner. But you also want to notice that there's a rubber O-ring right there. Don't forget that. That's my bearing. I haven't replaced that. That's the original OEM 2003 intermediate shaft bearing. Intermediate shaft is in, along with the passenger side axle. That bracket, the closest bolt to the block, those threads are stripped. We have my 7 washers and nuts right here that go to the shifter plate, but I don't have that. Ricardo has that with the internals to the transmission. And then right here are the 2 C-clips that hold the bearings on to the end cap. That's one, and that is one. Like I said in my other video, this one is bigger than this one. You saw in my video, I just used a flathead along with a little metal tool that I just kept around in my toolbox. So just make sure you don't damage anything. Try not to damage anywhere around here when you're taking them off also. Alright guys, I just got back from work. Got my package right here. Alright, what we have back is my shifter selector. We have my input. Right here you can see this is a brand new 2003 input shaft. Pretty cool. This is the bad Larry. The output shaft. So shout out to Rick Fabz. see how she feels. Fluids are pretty much draining from the bottles, so that feels good. Clutch. I don't know, you guys, we'll see. First is a little yeah, first gear. Wonder if my master's going. There we go. Well, you guys, she is done. She is put back together. I have her on the tender right now. The exhaust, the dump, the transmission, the internals, the hard pipe, cold pipe, you name it. Everything is put back on. She is ready to be started up. What do you guys think? Do you think she's gonna start? I'm nervous right now, you guys, to be honest. Haven't started in a few weeks. Oh, you guys, I'm so scared. Okay. She needs juice. Ah, damn it. Alright, have my rental here, you guys. And hoping that works. Had my jumper cables in my neon. I came prepared, you guys. I think she'll be good. Runs a little rough. She's not moving. I wonder if it's because I deleted that dog bone down there. So I have the top dog bone and the lower dog bone now removed. She got a little bit more of a shake. She sounds like she's running smooth. Bolts look good. Oil pressure's good. Vacuum's a little off. I gotta order some T-bolt clamps. Just gotta take her for a ride. Question is, will she drive? Well, she'll drive, but will she shift? Oh, I gotta get my brakes back. Holy shish. That's not right. That's not normal. I'm gonna have to check my brakes again. Always check your brakes after you work on your car, because you never know. I know that works. I fixed that, thankfully. Now getting out of this driveway is gonna be the biggest. Like, look at that divot, you guys. That divot right there is what broke my car, I believe. Let's go ahead and put her in reverse. Oh my God, really? Alright, did some adjustments to the DCR pivot arm. I don't know if I like that delete. second, alright. Third's alright. Gotta do something with the clutch pedal and brake pedal. Definitely bleed them. Sorry, I had to drop the phone for a second. Depowered steering rack is not a daily driven fun car. Just so you know. I like that delete. I think she just needs an alignment. Maybe that'll give a better shift, because I had to force it into second, and then I put it into first, and I don't know if it lined everything up or what. I don't know. Just back up on jack stands the next day. I did drive it to work, but I found out my issue why I couldn't boost. I forgot to tighten this, so I'm loosening that 13mm nut. That way I can either take my V-band off or just move it up here facing towards me, so I can always make sure it's tight. I thought I had an exhaust leak coming from over here because it was just idling funny. Let's go ahead and start her up real quick. So this is how she was idling yesterday and this morning. So I just started putting my hand around here, and I was like, yo, something's gotta be leaking, and I felt air come in right here, and that's just because the V-band is nice and loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that up. Alright, there we go, you guys. There she is. She's nice and tight, but I gotta go ahead and take this dump tube off, because if you see right here, I'm actually vibrating off of that little tunnel right there. And all I want to do is actually move this dump pipe out of the way and just tap it a little bit so I can have more clearance between the pipe and this little dish in between the window and whatever. I think it's drainage area, but I'm not 110%. I just used this 3M rubber squeegee that I had in my little tool bag over there I got from Harbor Freight. And I also took the metal hammer, and you can see I flattened this whole surface just enough that it still has the U shape behind it. And I took this and I just smashed it lightly, and I directed it where I want it to.